Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for another Star Wars Battlefront II video. Today we have a bit of news to cover. It should be a shorter video than usual, but there's a few bits of news in particular I really want to give my thoughts on, as I have a sneaking suspicion that some of the fixes that were just announced really aren't going to be fixed at all. Alongside a few pieces of other news, the patch notes for the Count Dooku hotfix that is releasing tomorrow were released. I wasn't able to cover it right away as school has started back up for me this morning, and by the way, it's currently 35 degrees below zero here, so if I randomly disappear, it probably means I froze to death on my way to class. A few quick things before we get into the patch notes. Ben did say over on the Battlefront II forums that the community calendar is out of his hands, meaning it is done, and I suppose awaiting approvals, and that the new roadmap for everything after Anakin is being worked on. He went on to say that he is pushing for the new roadmap to be released as soon as possible, and that they just need to make sure everything is 100% locked down and accurate before it releases. So the good news is there absolutely will be more content after Anakin. I was starting to worry that the new roadmap Ben had mentioned a few months back was no longer coming, but it is, and we should see it relatively soon. The bad news is we still have no idea what that content is. Seeing as references and voice lines for Padme and Ahsoka were found in the files, it's looking like another Clone Wars season, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see before we can be sure. Ben also said there will be multiple community transmissions to look forward to in February, so hopefully that means it'll be less like January where there's pretty much no consistent communication, and more like November where the communication was absolutely stellar. He did mention that the team has been discussing making some changes to HvV, and all I can say is the sooner the better. I forced myself to almost exclusively play heroes versus villains to rank up Dooku for my hero guide, and while good matches can be extremely fun, when you get in a match with some terrible Boba Fett player who just hides and exploit spots constantly, or a team that does nothing but run, that mode is just incredibly unfun as it doesn't reward skill, it just rewards really cheap tactics a lot of the time. That's not to mention the teammates that I get have a collective IQ in the single digits, but hey, I could make a 25-part series just ranting about how bad teammates are in that mode, but that doesn't mean I should. Finally, the team is aware of the duelist bug with Dooku. It's something that I only recently became aware of, but if you jump, dash, or sprint, Dooku's duelist animation is completely cancelled, meaning he will no longer have a faster attack. You do still get the damage boost, but not the faster attacks, which is a big problem seeing as you're almost always going to dash or sprint into a fight. Anyway, let's move on to the hotfix patch notes. The only new content that is coming tomorrow is the Dark Ritual appearance for Count Dooku. This was supposed to arrive with Dooku last Wednesday, but DICE has admitted they didn't have it finished in time, so it is dropping tomorrow, and honestly, I will probably buy it. I have a really bad habit of buying like every new Clone Wars skin DICE releases, even if I pretty much never use it. I bought Grievous's battle damage skin, used it for like a month, and haven't touched it since his shattered appearance dropped, and I did the same thing with Kenobi. I bought his robed appearance and then swapped it out for his clone armor skin only a few weeks later. It doesn't really matter though, there's pretty much nothing to spend your credits on if you have as many saved up as I did, so I will rock that skin for like a month before his pajama skin arrives alongside Anakin. In case you were wondering, that skin will cost you 40,000 credits if you also plan on picking it up. Two small fixes for Dooku include an update to his exposed weakness animation, as apparently it would sometimes not highlight AI in arcade, and they also fixed his lightsaber not making an activation sound during the HvV intro animation. A more important change is to Dooku's lightsaber, as this hotfix says it will be making improvements to the way his lightsaber connects with enemies, and I really hope this is an actual fix, as I have noticed with Dooku even more so than with other heroes, that his lightsaber sometimes can go right through someone and do absolutely nothing, and I've also noticed that sometimes an enemy will be like 10 meters away, and I will manage to snipe them with my lightsaber when they really shouldn't have been hit at all. This clip here shows exactly what I'm talking about, but to be fair, this is not only a problem with Dooku, this is a problem with pretty much everyone. This latest update has messed up the hitboxes for lightsabers really drastically. My swings will go straight through people constantly, lightsabers block from behind now, and when you dodge, your hitbox stays there for a split second, so if you're in saber combat and you dodge away, and the enemy swings where you just were, you will still take damage. It's another one of those bizarre bugs that DICE somehow managed to accidentally add, and while it can be pretty frustrating when it does happen, it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, oh my god is it annoying. Hopefully this change does help the issue, although even if it does, it will only be for Dooku and not the 6 other Saber heroes. A couple of other small fixes: other heroes will no longer refer to Dooku as the Emperor. I heard that a lot when Palpatine wasn't in game and was a little confused. Kylo's Frenzy Scream can no longer be spammed. This was an admittedly pretty hilarious bug where if you activated Frenzy when no one was nearby, he would just constantly scream, but it did get annoying really quick when people would do this the entire game. They also fixed the screen spasm with Obi-Wan's Force Push. I highly doubt this will actually fix the issue entirely. It seems like every time Obi-Wan Force pushes me, my screen will just go ballistic just like Vader's Force Choke back in the day, but hopefully this at least makes it less frequent. The latest update was supposed to fix all of Kenobi's Force Push issues, like the sound of his push getting stuck for the entire game and annoying the entire lobby, but that still happens pretty much every single time I use him. The patch notes also said they fixed the clone officers making Wookiee noises, although later in the post Ben said this was caused by the officers' grenades going off. I don't know about you guys, but I would have this noise happen when using Battle Command, when placing turrets, and also when my grenade would detonate, my officer would just make a Wookiee roar. So it sounds like they've only fixed 1/3 of the issue, but hey, the Wookiee officers are a harmless bug anyway, so I wouldn't mind them sticking around for another month. That is about it for the news today, guys. If you enjoyed today's video and could drop a like, I would definitely appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel, absolutely make sure you subscribe, as we would be honored if you would join us. Also, if you haven't yet, be sure to go follow me on my brand new Battlefront Night Twitter. It is a great way to make sure you never miss an upload, or just to talk Star Wars and Battlefront with me. Anyways, once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.